Greetings. Welcome to Baki TV. I have my co-host today, Mikael, also known as Michael Bain, and we're in the house to share some insight on lifestyles. Mikael brought that word to me, and I'm curious, and I wanted to share with you what exactly does he mean by a lifestyle.
Yes, so we get caught up in a lot of things. I say, chasing people's dreams and listening to other people talking about how you're supposed to live, and even the government system. They wrote a book on how you're supposed to live, but we never really got to feel ourselves as far as a consciousness. There is something in the inside that will wake if you really lock in, and that's a lifestyle because our ancestors, things have proven, scientists prove things have been here, and we're connected. We're connected to the sun, even with our melon.
Yes.
So we gotta understand there's something deeper than just the physical body.
Yes.
And when you start to become consciousness or awoken, they say a lot of people start saying you're crazy. Oh, he's losing it, but they don't even look at the peace that person has.
Yes.
The mind that person has. You ever talk to somebody's conscious, they'll tell you some stuff that like, whoa.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That make you go search. But so we gotta understand that Malcolm, Martin Luther King, they always looking for that lifestyle. They always searching for the lifestyle that we have today. That like even in it talks about knowledge will increase in the last days. So we can see everything going around. Whatever, but at the same time, a peace of mind is the only thing that really matters at the end of the day.
Very good.
It's a lifestyle I would love.
You mentioned Malcolm and Martin and people of that caliber trying to get to this point of now. What do you actually, are you saying that they didn't have it then? They didn't have, what were they missing in your opinion, or do you think they were missing anything as far as what is available right now?
Well, as far as I feel like they was missing a lot because, far as they was waiting on Jesus. Martin Luther King did tell you they waiting on Jesus and all that other stuff. So, but they didn't understand the powers in them. You know what I mean? So they were striving, but a lot of people die. Some people die in a problem before they even, I feel like, get to that way. But a lot of compassion's in this consciousness. Compassion comes with finding to connect to me. But they peace. They didn't have the peace.
If you don't think Martin Luther King had the peace?
I think Martin probably had it, but
and you mentioned
the people around him, it seemed like it didn't. Because I'm just like the conscious level I'm at. There's no way Malcolm or Martin Luther King would have died, and it would have went to the way it went. Somebody should have stood up and grabbed something and kept it going. So I feel like they didn't have it. So like with this, I'm never gonna lose what I got.
And what exactly do you have? Because you mentioned that they were believing in Jesus. You mentioned Jesus. Do you believe in Jesus?
Yes, I believe Jesus was, a person we supposed to, just he was something to show us how we supposed to walk. Like we're God, we are Jesus. I believe I'm Jesus myself. So
how do you associate yourself with Jesus? Are you able to walk on water? Are you able to do the things that the Bible says that Jesus did?
Basically, my faith is my inner peace. So, like, I'm not gonna say Jesus didn't do it.
Yes.
And I don't feel like I gotta walk on the water to make. Someone else believed. That was Jesus at that strong point. Jesus was there. He believed that he can do it. So it's like once you get to that, keep growing. That can happen. You know what I mean?
Well, I'd like to add to that, when they're talking about walking on water, they're talking about having strong faith.
Yeah, I believe they was talking about
strong faith.
I believe they said how the sun glided on water. I believe the sun rises every morning, and you can watch it glide on the water as you see it rises.
Well, then you took it to another level. So you're talking about the Son of God, which they're calling Jesus.
Yes.
Was actually talking about the sun and how the sun rays appeared to walk on the water, across the water as it rose.
Yes. I think that's the conscious level we got to get to, because some people read the text and take it to a whole in their own way, but it could have been like the sun rises every morning, because at the end of the day there was darkness and then the sun. So
yes,
you know what I mean?
Yes, that's the older texts that predate the translation of King James, because that was a translation, that version was a translation that came from older scrolls like the Zoroastrian and the Edomite edition, the Gilgamesh epic. Those tablets spoke of that these stories were written from astrology, like ancient Egypt. You could go back to ancient Egypt and you could find Atum Re. You could find the story of Jesus, that's Horus. You can find Aset, the mother of God. You can find those stories, but even those stories go all the way back to, they're talking about the sun rising and setting, and there will be no life without the sun. So they're talking about the S-U-N. Even in the book of Malachi, chapter 4, verse 5, says the Son of Righteousness will come with healing in his wings, and they don't spell it S-O-N, they spell it S-U-N. So you're right. Yeah. So you're basically talking about another level of consciousness, which is a lifestyle, and living a lifestyle, living in this consciousness, in a higher level of consciousness, where we've raised from the times of Martin Luther King, where he said, "I am just a man," where we now know that we are more than just a man. We're gods, meaning supreme beings. Because God just means supreme being. Yeah,
It means a lot. Like even with the Bible, I feel like the Bible is basic instructions before leaving Earth. Like so, if the Bible is fake, it's a way you get your own consciousness with the power. People understand you have to do it for yourself. I can't make nobody conscious. I can only just tell you. But like, if you want a peace of mind, I can tell you where to go to.
And if people want a peace of mind, you said you could tell them where to go to. Where would they go?
Shoot, they gotta go to themselves. You gotta learn yourself before you can.
So how do you mean learn yourself? What exactly do you have to do to learn yourself? Because
most
people believe that they know themselves.
A lot of people gotta do it with logic. Examine yourself. Cut what you don't like out. Like you can't say you don't like somebody and you're doing the same thing. Like I mean, so examine yourself to the point where do everything that you don't like, get it out of you before you start, telling, the world and all that. So it's like you really gotta. I had to find myself. Like I thought I was this person, thought I was that person. No, I had to go deep down. Like you can't find God until you find yourself.
Yeah.
You are.
Yeah. And the self, actually, if you really talking about the higher self, the self is consciousness itself, because there's an awareness that the body is here. There's an awareness that we're more than just a body. There's the body is inanimated until the breath of life was blown into it. So if we're identifying with only the body and not the breath of life, then we are not reaching our full potential. Would you say? Would you agree or disagree?
Yeah,
So the inner journey, the awareness is to go, when you say know yourself, is to go deeper in yourself and acknowledge the essence that's within you, and then strip away all of the negative things that you see in other people. You'll probably you have those same qualities and start stripping or changing your way of thinking and behavior.
Because if you break down the word enemy, like I feel like we are the enemy, yourself. Like we're placing another devil that's not even there. If you break down the word enemy, like the enemy. You can enemy. Yeah. You can be the enemy yourself. You know what I'm saying? True. Thinking bad thoughts, bringing the devil up. Man, don't keep the devil out your mind.
Right.
You know
what is the devil?
You're creating a spirit. You're just creating problems. Like when you start talking about the devil to me. Like I just say, the devil can't harm me unless I let him harm me. The devil can't do nothing unless he tricked me into doing it. So that's like, so it's like, end of the day, we have to just stand on a lifestyle. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Everybody's chasing a system lifestyle. But at the end of the day,
what do you mean by system lifestyle?
I feel like the systematic, like the system for getting married and just, they call like buying a house success.